All right, so what's the best way to start pressure, and what is your goal in general? Okay, so my goal a lot of the time with Shiki is if I'm on the ground, because I feel like my goal in the air and my goal on the ground are a little different. If I'm on the ground, I usually would like to be at around this spacing, because if you're at like right at 2C spacing, you can threaten with 2C, or you can threaten with instant air dash. And the things that they have to do to call out 2C get called out by instant air dash jump C, and the things that they would do to call out instant air dash jump C, you call out with 2C. And a lot of your neutral is kind of based around that when you're at this distance. When you're further out, you can use shit like 236A, although I don't use it as much. However, 236A is actually an incredibly good poke if you have either Moondrive or Meter, because on hit, you can confirm into 214C for a basic launcher combo, or you can confirm it into Moondrive activation for a combo that way. Hang on, I think it's something like this. Yeah. So you can do something like that. But then the other thing that I'll do a lot of, and this is probably my main poke from like around this range, I'll do a lot of 236B. This move I think is only like -4 or -5. So here's the good thing about 236B. If you throw it and it hits, you get a knockdown. If you throw it and it's blocked, look at what range you're at. Oh, we're suddenly at optimal Joker range. Let's make it so Shiki here will mash crouch B in response to this. Okay. I am gonna eat shit if I try to hit a button with most buttons, because it's too fast. And then if I try to jump out and they hit a button, I will get hit. So I can't like immediately mix between instant air dash and whatnot. But you can backdash and reset that space, force them to whiff, and then just like try again with other stuff. Or you can steal your turn back with shield. So if you think someone's going to poke at you after like -4 or -5, tell them no. That you have defensive options and you aren't afraid to use them. Like, I cannot tell you how many turns I've stolen by just doing that. And then once they get conditioned with that, they'll be like, okay, they're gonna shield. I'm gonna instant air dash at them, or I'm gonna like throw them, or like just hit nothing. A lot of the time, people will get afraid. They will seize up and they'll just backdash and get out of the situation, or they won't hit anything if they think that all you're gonna do is call them out for shit. So at that point, being -4 or -5 isn't actually all that scary because of the really good spacing you put yourself at. You can also be a shithead and do that. If you really want to be a shithead and get into someone's head, bam. That's kind of your goal on the ground. Goal on the ground is that's how you can kind of deal with a lot of stuff. Goal in the air, if you're going air to ground, a lot of what I'll do, and this isn't just even a Shiki thing, this is like general Melty, or at least this game, is a lot of just, I'll do super jump and then air dash back. And a lot of this game's movement, if you ask me, is pretty robust, because if you think about it this way, you have 3 air dashes. You have your super jump, you have your air super jump, and then you have your actual air dash. So a lot of the time, what I'll do is I'll approach it the way I did Dragon Ball, where I'll like super jump and then air dash back and see if they're going to try to move forward, and I can juke them into moving forward at a bad timing and catch them with like a jump C, or like catch them as they're like running forward and maybe not hitting a button, and then catching them low that way with like 2C or 2A. Stuff like that. You can use shit like super jump, air backdash to bait a lot of movement. And then if you want to advance towards someone, it's as simple as getting them used to, oh, I'm just going to do this over and over. And then they're going to take that as a way to just like inch forward. Then all of a sudden you can be like, and just go in. And it's super good to just sort of like mix up your air options. And like, I want to say this is probably one of the easier and simpler ways to move. And then you can always also have your double jump as kind of a trump card. And like one way I like to approach air movement is to have at least one option left available to me if I'm in a neutral situation and I don't know what to do. So if I'm just kind of like jumping around, I'll keep my air dash as a way to kind of force some space and be able to return safely at some point. I'll have my second jump, and like with your second jump, you can either move back or you can like launch yourself and potentially get away from somewhere. And it's pretty neat there. And a lot of the time what I'll do is I'll just jump around, fish with jump C, and that's kind of like my neutral for air to ground. But in terms of air to air, which is what you were asking about, when people are jumping around, and I feel like this is actually pretty universal for most of the cast, anti-airing, your options are, you can DP, but that's not good. Or if you just want to burn the moon skill, this actually I don't feel is too bad, especially in moon drive. You can catch a lot of people unawares, and this is safe. So you can be like, okay, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here if it doesn't work out. You can air throw if you're feeling ballsy, but your main go-to option, I feel, should be jump A. Jump A is the button. And like, if you feel like someone is going to try to make space and like air dash at you, or like double jump towards you, or do something ignorant in the air, and you want to call it out, dash jump, jump A. Or super jump, jump A. Rising jump A is a lot of the time your go-to anti-air. And the thing is, if they decide to hit a button and they get counter hit by it, then you get a gajillion damage. If you do the combo right, it's something like this. That's like 3.8 with a knockdown. There's room for even more off of just that single counter hit. So like, yeah, rising jump A is normally what I'll go to. Your other option is you can fucking just shield. Like if someone's jumping at you and they're just being ignorant with like jump C, stand shield is incredible. Look how long it takes me to act out of this move after I've been jump shielded. Look how long it takes. If they shield a jump in, they are in such an advantage state. They can just wait. And the only option you have as the person that's been shielded is you can BC. And depending on your positioning, BC might not even get you out. But worse, like usually what's going to end up happening there is they BC if they know what they're doing, and they'll lose some moon gauge and you'll go back to neutral. No harm, no foul, really. They will try to shield themselves. And you know how earlier I mentioned, oh, hey, you just can't fucking act out and you're probably going to end up either losing your turn or getting punished if you get air shielded? If you air shield, in response to their shield, look how long you are getting super punished if you go for this. And someone is just not pressing. In my opinion, that's an incredibly strong anti-air option, is just, if you think someone's going to jump at you and just go for like a jump C or something, tap stand shield. Worst comes to worse, they might not hit jump C, but if you tap shield at like a good-ish time, you can potentially recover before they come down and grab you or hit empty low. But yeah, like, shielding jump-ins is actually fucked up. It's really good. It's really, really, really fucking good.